Hang'em here. I'm going to weigh in on the proposed assault weapons ban legislation. Those of us that are old enough to remember this occurring in 1994, the Clinton gun ban, which was basically pointless. All it did was it was merely cosmetic. It was lipstick on a pig. It didn't accomplish really anything. And it certainly didn't prevent any crimes, as Columbine proved, which happened directly in the middle of that assault weapons ban. Let's talk a little bit about the politicians. The politicians, are we really honestly going to listen? Does the American public honestly trust these people who can't even balance a budget? They can't even get together to pass a fiscal cliff legislation that can represent us in even a halfway decent fashion. I certainly don't want these people making decisions for me regarding my ownership of anything, a 1971 Chevrolet pickup or an HK 91. These people should have to pass an IQ test to get into Congress and the House of Representatives. And by the way, I'm a little disappointed with the Republican conservatives as well. I think they ran home to mama just a bit when the election occurred, and they kind of acted like, well, gosh, if we lost this way, we have to act more like the liberals. Guys, you're selling us out. We're not gonna stand for it. As we showed during the Clinton gun ban, we overwhelmingly voted the people that supported that right out of office, and we will do the same again. I'm asking all of the members of Congress and the House of Representatives to not support any new gun legislation. As we all know, these bans do nothing to prevent crime. Here's an idea for you that the NRA didn't mention in their press conference, which I'll get to in a moment. How about ban guns from criminals first? If you can do that successfully, if you can accomplish, you're our legislators, you're supposed to be our representatives. When you want to talk about gun bans, why don't we ban criminals from having guns? When we can successfully do that, then we can talk about the guns that I have that you don't like, or handguns that I don't have. But until we do that, until we successfully ban the guns from criminals, I don't know why we're even discussing this. Why in the world would you pass any legislation that would make it easier for criminals to perpetrate their crimes on law-abiding citizens? This shows that you, number one, have no intelligence. Number two, it is so ridiculous that it comes back full circle to that's not the reason why you're suggesting these bans. So I had somebody mention to me today, it's almost like this was timed, like they were writing this new assault weapons ban just waiting for the next tragedy, which they were. Dianne Feinstein was currently drafting this legislation before Newtown shooting occurred. It was a horrible tragedy. It was a monster that committed those crimes, and unfortunately this is how our politicians react to these things. They wait for tragedies to push their personal agendas. I'll say another thing. This is a good argument for term limits. I believe that we need to push for term limits in every section of the government, because people like Dianne Feinstein and have been up there for so many years, they take their personal opinions and try to legislate morality from their office. What they're supposed to be doing, folks, is legislating for the people. This is a woman who can't even control illegals in her own state, has done nothing on the committees that she serves on. California can't even balance their own budget, and we've got these people telling us what we should and shouldn't own, law-abiding citizens. And by the way, folks, all of these gun buyback programs, don't participate in those. The media is absolutely brainwashing you. We'll get to what an assault weapon really is, or assault rifle is, in just a moment. But why in the world would anyone, any law-abiding citizen, believe the media when they tell you that guns are so dangerous that you need to go down and turn them into your fire department for a $50 gas card? Folks, don't do that. These people, if you don't know what they're doing, there's police officers and other individuals that go down to these things and they buy these guns instead of for $50 gift card that they're giving. People are giving them $60 to $100 for the guns, so they're not accomplishing anything with these buyback programs. And why would you disarm yourself and make it easier for the criminals? You ban the guns from the criminals, and then we'll talk about gun ownership in the law-abiding sector. I need you to write everyone. I would write every one of my representatives. I have several times, and I'm urging them not to support any new gun legislation. We need to be going the other way, in fact. The NRA press conference, NRA, I'll share my thoughts with you about that. I think that the NRA, everybody was poised to hear the NRA say, we need to give the teachers guns and arm the teachers, and in fact they did not come out and say that. When in fact they probably should have added that to the list. Obviously there are schools that do permit their teachers that have concealed weapons permits to carry guns. They have to pass a proficiency course, which most concealed weapons programs require anyway, and they are allowed to carry their guns online. They don't publicize this. They don't want us to know this because it's viewed as such a negative in society today. We're almost viewed as less than child molesters. There's actually a website and a major newspaper that actually released people's names and addresses that had guns. They came across this information and they released it as if they were child molesters. It's a horrible injustice, and those people should sue, and I hope they get every penny that they can out of them. But we need to, I don't believe, two things on the NRA press conference. I don't think that Wayne LaPierre came across very well at all. I know that there were some disruptions during that press conference, but Wayne needs some help. I think some of the members from the NRA need to get out and really circulate. Every time I've seen the NRA make a statement, it's been Wayne LaPierre out there, and he's just thrown to the wolves and getting butchered by idiots that just continue to ask the same stupid question over and over and over. And this is not a gun regulation issue. This is a evil guy with a gun issue. It's not even a gun issue, to be quite honest with you. It's already illegal for somebody to walk into a school with anything, a knife, a gun, and kill people. It's already illegal. More laws aren't going to help that. I don't agree with the NRA about video games. While I don't agree with unsupervised participation in video games, some of the ones that he mentioned and others unsupervised, I don't believe that it's a video game issue either. It's a parenting issue. It's what we were not protecting our children issue is the bottom line. Right now today I can walk into the high school or the middle school to a wrestling match, and there will be nobody to stop me from releasing mayhem on those people, and that's a tragedy. We need to accomplish that. That was the message that the NRA was trying to get across. Is we didn't do anything to protect our children in that case, not much at all, and the teachers did. Some of the teachers gave their lives. But just what if you take even guns out of the picture? Why would you make an argument immediately for a tragedy like that happens instead of covering some of the things? Maybe some camera systems, maybe perimeter fencing, maybe armed professionals. Maybe we arm the teachers with tasers. If 10 teachers in that building had tasers, I'm pretty sure that one of them could have brought that guy down before he could have inflicted any more damage. How about teaching them unarmed response? There's some unarmed combat tactics that you don't have to be big or very physical or strong in nature to accomplish. That combined with non-lethal weapons, combined with armed guards, you have layered layers of security that you're doing something actively to prevent a tragedy like that happened, instead of doing nothing, sitting in there. The Dianne Feinstein and her cronies would have us just sit and give our lives just so that there's not one more dangerous handgun unloaded with a magazine separated from the gun riding down the road going to a shooting range. They're absurd. They're absurd in this, that being unarmed is more safe. It is not more safe at all. It prevents you from protecting yourself, particularly women. The new ban, had this new ban been in place when this shooting occurred, the new proposed ban would have not prevented this whatsoever. The new ban wouldn't have prevented it at all. It was already illegal to do what this gentleman did. Having a gun with a detachable magazine, with no flash hider, without a pistol grip, that had been registered and non-transferable could have still gone in and done the same thing. The point was they didn't protect their children. Simple as that. Folks, you need to follow the facts on crime statistics. Look them up. I've done a lot of research in the last couple of weeks, and you'll see the statistics for yourself. The statistics show that in the states that have the most strict gun laws, they have the highest murder rates, period. It's a fact. It's not anything that I'm making up or anyone else that's pro-gun makes up. It's absolute fact. The FBI even agrees that less than 1% of the crimes a so-called assault weapon is even used. They're not a great source of use in most crimes that exist in the community, and it's already illegal to use an assault rifle or a revolver in the commission of a crime. It's already illegal. Enforce the crimes you have on the books. Our legislators I guess they find it easier to legislate and regulate the law-abiding citizen and let the criminals continue to circulate through our prisons. When you can ban criminals from having guns, then we'll talk to you about other gun ownership. You need to follow the facts on the statistics, folks. You can look it up. There's several videos. You'll see some links to TN Outdoor 9. He's got a great video. He's got some statistics and facts. There's also a couple of links below here that you'll be able to copy and use a letter to send to your legislatures. There's several videos that are much better done than I'm doing today to inform you on the facts. If this new gun this new gun ban passes, it goes after, just to summarize, it goes after things cosmetically, like detachable magazines, that whether they hold 10 rounds or more or not. Flash hiders. Never seen a weapon with a flash hider be more lethal than one without it. Bayonet lugs. I can't remember when the last bayoneting occurred in a school or otherwise, a drive-by bayoneting, but doesn't matter, folks. Pistol grips on even shotguns. My brother's Beretta 1200 FP will become illegal if this is passed. It has a pistol grip buttstock on it. He lives in California. He can't put a pistol grip on the front of it, or somehow it becomes more lethal. It's ridiculous. These are cosmetic things that are steps to gun registration, which is the next thing on the list. They are requiring registration of anything that is classified or can be classified as an assault weapon. And I'm going to show you the definitions of those in just a moment. And these guns, one other important fact is that they become non-transferable. If I die, the guns that I have, I cannot will to my sons. The government gets them. Why would anybody vote for legislation that prevents you from passing on your heritage and your birthright to your children? 1994, a ban was put in place it's called the Clinton ban. It did absolutely nothing, and it attacked some of these same things: detachable magazines with no more than 10 rounds, flash hiders, bayonet lugs. It did nothing whatsoever to prevent crime. Crime did not go down during the assault weapons ban from 94 to 2004. It steadily increased to a certain degree. And conversely, crime did not go way up when the sunset of the assault weapons ban was over, and we could have 15 round mags, 30 round mags, 100 round drums, 200 round drums. Crime didn't go up, although the so-called experts said that it would. It did not, in fact, and these statistics are available by our FBI and our own federal agencies. These the media folks don't watch the mainstream media. They get on television because they have millions of viewers there, and they grab their piece of paper and they say, I'm sitting right here looking at this right now, where several universities have done studies saying that guns are dangerous, and if you have them in your home, your children are more likely to die. Now, why in the world would somebody not want to prevent children from dying? How many children is it going to take before we ban these dangerous guns? They never reference any of their material. They never reference what universities study this. They never reference any fact whatsoever, because they're all lies. It's made up bullshit, basically, is what it is. So follow the facts. Do your own research. Write your legislators and make sure that you tell them what your thoughts are on this issue. Okay, let's talk about the word assault weapon or assault rifle. The definitions are very clear. An assault rifle, this is off of Wikipedia, well-referenced site. Millions of people go there every day. It's fairly factual. Other people have input, but this is generally basically true. An assault rifle. The term assault rifle is sometimes conflicted with the term the term assault weapon is sometimes confused with the term assault rifle. An assault rifle is a military rifle that utilizes an intermediate power cartridge and generally is capable of full automatic fire, where multiple rounds are fired continuously when the trigger is pulled one time. That is, it's a machine gun, or burst capable, where a burst of several rounds is fired when the trigger is pulled one time. In the United States, full automatic firearms are heavily restricted, regulated by federal laws such as the National Firearms Act of 1934, as well as some state and local laws. Machine guns have been banned since 1934, folks. So an AR-15, such as this one, is not an assault rifle. It's an AR-15. It resembles a military weapon. It also resembles a Remington 760 Woodsmaster because you squeeze the trigger one time, a bullet fires out, the bolt goes back, ejects the spent cartridge, picks up another one out of the magazine, and it's ready to fire again. A hunting rifle. It operates on the same principles as any semi-automatic firearm. An assault weapon. An assault weapon refers primarily, but not exclusively, to semi-automatic firearms using an intermediate power cartridge, that's interesting wording, that poses a cosmetic feature of a military assault rifle that is fully automatic. In other words, there's no clear definition of what an assault weapon is. What an assault weapon is whatever Dianne Feinstein or any legislator can convince you that it is and can get written into law, which is what they're trying to do now. Under this ban, a Ruger 1022 would become an assault weapon. A Glock 19 would become an assault weapon. I'll go further. Utilizing an intermediate power cartridge that poses the cosmetic features of a military assault rifle that is fully automatic. In other words, it has a collapsible buttstock, it has a bayonet lug, it has a flash hider. It looks like the military version. However, it's not the military version. It's not a machine gun. It will not fire fully automatic. The National Rifle Association has referred to the features affected by the federal assault weapons ban as cosmetic, as has the Violence Policy Center. What is the Violence Policy Center, you ask? The Violence Policy Center is a research-based organization in Washington, D.C. Its work includes lobbying the United States Congress, that means begging and bribing, to end non-military and non-law enforcement ownership of handguns and to tighten the regulation of long guns. So their sole purpose is to go out and try to bribe and beg the legislators and provide them with research to end military, non-military, and non-law enforcement ownership of handguns. They hate handguns. The Violence Policy Center has drawn the attention of Congress to gun-related cases by distributing its published research and analysis, and numerous U.S. gun control organizations have used VPC reports and terminology to advance local gun control initiatives. In other words, they go out and they manufacture data. And even this group that's based in Washington, D.C., it's a voluntary donation-based organization that hates handguns, and even they say that an assault weapon is simply a gun that resembles a military weapon, but it's only cosmetic in nature and has no bearing on the lethality of that particular firearm. So there you go. There's the definitions. we need to make sure that our voices are heard here, folks. This is pie in the sky what these folks are doing. I think they typically in '94 what they did was they went crazy. They went go for broke, and whatever they could get they took. So it's one step at a time. These folks can't pass a fiscal cliff legislation without arguing. I'm heavily disappointed on both sides, both parties, Republicans and Democrats. But I guarantee you they could, if it comes to giving themselves a pay raise, that shit flies right through. If you have any time, go and look and see what the confiscation in Australia did for those folks. Their crime soared 69% almost overnight. And a new phenomenon called home invasion started occurring because, of course, the criminals who had guns knew that the general population didn't. But they confiscated their guns. They made them come down and throw them in a pile. They cut them into pieces and they melted them down. And don't think it can't happen to you, but look that up. There's videos on YouTube about it. There's good information. The Aussies told us then, don't think it can't happen to you, because it can. So stay vigilant. Let's keep our voices out there. Keep pounding the pavement. Write as many of your legislators as you can. Talk to them if you can. And try to do something positive with the schools. I'm looking into what our schools are here locally in the southern Georgia area are going to do. We need to do something now, not something that's going to be ineffective, like taking a law-abiding citizen's weapon away from them. There's about 100 different things we could do before we ever even thought about that step. And of course these politicians know that. The same politicians that can't even get together and pass a budget. So I don't want them making decisions for me, and in fact I think we need to vote them all the hell out of there. The system is broken. We need to fix it, and we can't start with disarming ourselves. If we do that, we won't have any voice, and we'll have no power to fix what's broken. So peace out.